Dear colleagues, I am Estelle Blanquet, Associate Professor at the University of Bordeaux in Science Education, and I train current and future primary school teachers to teach science. My aim today is to show you the impact of the Copernican paradigmatic pressure on the understanding of the relativity of motion and to underline the emissions it may arouse. French junior and senior high school students are all taught that the description of the motion of an object depends on the observer who describes it. But how do they react when they are asked this question in different contexts? Here are three formulations addressing the same issue. The first one asks them to position themselves in relation to the sentence learned in class by answering yes, no, or I don't know. The second formulation is also a multiple choice question, yes, no, or I don't know, and involves a merry-go-round. This is a classic situation used by many teachers. The third question is an open-ended question that asks them to respond to a person who concludes, after observing the movements of the sun and the shadow of a stick, that the sun revolves around the earth. The situations of the merry-go-round and earth sun are mathematically similar. If one does accept that from the point of view of the child on the merry-go-round, it is the mother that is turning, then we might expect his answer to question 3 to be that from the point of view of an earthly observer, it is the sun that is moving across the sky. Nevertheless, the earth-sun question draws attention to a key issue of the Copernican quadrant, according to which it is the Earth that rotates on itself and around the Sun, and not the opposite. We have classified the participants' responses to this question into 3 categories. The category of Copernican responses includes responses indicating that it is the Earth that rotates and not the Sun. The category of relativistic responses includes responses indicating that it depends on the chosen frame of reference. And the third category includes all the responses that do not belong to the previous 2 categories. So, how do the participants in the study position themselves in relation to these 3 questions? The question was put to over 5,500 people, including first-year science students at the beginning of the year, and both pre-service and in-service primary school teachers. As you can see, the participants almost all agree with the formulation in abstracto learned in class, and the majority agree with the idea that from the child's point of view on the merry-go-round, it is the mother who turns. But in the Earth-Sun situation, the answers change radically. The Earth-Sun context seems to sweep away the application of the principle of relativity in this specific situation, and the participants revert to thinking in accordance with the Copernican paradigm. This is a signature of what we have called the Copernican paradigmatic pressure, and which we have qualified as strong insofar as it can induce the negation of the principle of relativity in favor of the conformist thinking. For those who are interested, you can find more information on this study on the archive site while waiting for its publication. Another interesting finding of this study was the very strong reactions of some participants to a person stating that the sun revolves around the Earth, as you can see in these few examples. We have therefore developed sequences for working on the relativity of motion in an astronomical context by using fiction. The aim was both to remove epistemological obstacles and to provoke a perspective likely to attenuate the virulent reactions of participants confronted with a challenge to the Copernican paradigm. These sequences have been carried out on multiple occasions, but we focus here on the round sequence. Following this work, we asked 18 future primary school teachers who had previously received the training in this exercise to describe the feelings and memories evoked by the sequence. I let you read some extracts. As you can see, overcoming the Copernican paradigmatic pressure is a long but feasible journey. If you are aware of and do not underestimate the weight of the paradigmatic pressure, if we do not underestimate the emotions involved, and if, as educators, we are careful to specify our choice of frame of reference systematically in our intervention. Still, it is a journey calling for strong motivation, since the difficulties that it involves implies not only the students, but also, often, the colleagues. I thank you very much and hope you enjoy it. If you are interested in our work, you can have a look at our publication. Thank you very much.